A weekend full of actions, haswa ile footballing actions pale hivyo. Kwa hivyo karibu sana. Leo najaribu kuongea Kiswahili hivi. Leo najaribu Kiswahili. Kwa hivyo imekuwa weekend refu sana, ni weekend nzuri kabisa ambayo ilikuwa imejawa na michezo, haswa michezo ya kandanda pale ambapo timu ya taifa Harambee Stars ile inaitwa Rising Stars pale under 20 ilikuwa na mchezo pale Sekafa ile African Afcon qualifiers pale katika nchi ya Tanzania pale ambapo results zilikuwa za kufurahisha kabisa. Kwa hivyo don't go far because we are here to give you everything sports that ranging from here at home and the world as a whole. That is the EPL, we have the Bundesliga, we have the Italian league also we'll be talking about here. And of course, I'm not alone, I'm here with the gang. So welcome to the Scoreboard. My name is Mike Odipo. So gang, karibuni sana.
Asante sana.
Unajua leo producer ameniweka off guard. So nilikuwa bado nafikiria introduction kwa akili kakuja late kidogo. So how are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was very fine. Hapo kwa Kiswahili mistaiza. I will not be able to. My name is Rodney. Welcome to the Scoreboard once again. And I am very glad to be here. We had a very long weekend with a lot of sporting action. So sit down, relax, don't touch that dial, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show. As Rodney has said, weekend imekuwa refu sana. A lot of sporting action locally and internationally. So sit back and changieni pia. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can comment, tuambie pia opinions zenyu about what we'll be talking about on the Scoreboard. So karibuni sana to all the viewers and sit back and relax. Yeah.
Yes, on this particular Monday whereby Ted decided not to come because Chelsea did not win. So we know when they win he comes, when they don't win he stays away. Ted, we know. Lakini I hope you are well wherever you are, and we really miss you from the studio because we love your contributions, especially when it comes to Chelsea matches, because he's a very staunch Chelsea fan. And mara leo jamaa jezi kwanza.
Coincidence.
Manu ana cringe kabisa kama namseta hapa kidogo. Kwa hivyo welcome so much, like Manu has said, we are live on Facebook at EBN TV, same to YouTube pale, ingia pale on the comment sections, take part and just say something about the topics that we'll be handling today, and anything that you feel that was spotted that this weekend. We'll be very happy to read them and just put a contribution on everything and every reaction that you put across there. So also you can share the broadcast to your friends so that we can be so many. Let us be so many so that we can share these news and everything with other friends also, so that we can grow as a family there. So thank you so much for everyone who's tuning in, and I hope this will be a very nice ride as I anticipate it to be. Now, this weekend, like I said earlier, that in my introduction, that there was the under 20 Afcon qualifiers in the Sekafa region, whereby the under 20 football teams were representing their respective countries, and in this Sekafa especially, this is the Afcon under 20 qualifiers, and just a recap of everything that is happening. It has been divided into two groups, whereby we have Group A and Group B. In the Group A, we have Tanzania, Sudan, Rwanda, Djibouti, and Kenya. That is Group A. We have Group B, which has Uganda, South Sudan, Burundi, and Ethiopia. So those are the countries that are taking part in this under 20 Sekafa Afcon qualifiers. And yes, for this weekend, that is Saturday to be precise, it started off officially whereby our home team, that is our country, Kenya, the Rising Stars, performed so well against the home team, that is the Tanzania, because these matches are being played in Tanzania. Yeah. So they won against the home team, that is the Tanzania. What do they call the team in Tanzania? It Serengeti Stars, Amadi Rising Serengeti Stars, something like that. So they won 2-1 to Tanzania. That is kudos to our boys. Very nice free kick from one of our boys there. And this guy, Kevin
Wangwai. Kevin Wangwai.
Wangwai, a very beautiful free kick. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah,
amazing. And as a whole, it was amazing. Okay? And I know, this I must say, because this boy that provided the assist for the second goal is an FC Leopards player. That is Hassan Beja. So my team was represented so well there. Yeah. So yeah, that has happened. So that on the 24th minute, the free kick was scored on the 24th minute by Kevin Wangaya. Then the Omondi Odhiambo made it 2-0 for Kenya after a very good assist from Hassan Beja on the 66th minute. But now Tanzania he scored a consolation goal from the incoming who came in in the second half, whose name was Jinake nani? Nimesahau Jinake hapa. Na Jinake nimesahau hapa kidogo. Imenipita kidogo lakini nitakuwa nakumbusha hapo mbele kidogo. Then also Sudan had a game against Djibouti whereby they won 3-1. So that is what happened in the group A this weekend. So I wonder because because it's very important for the fans for people to hear about everything that is happening.
Yeah.
But all in all, back here at home, the FKF Women Premier League commenced also this weekend officially, and a couple of games were played. I don't know if you have the fixtures, Rodney. He still doesn't have so it started officially whereby teams like Police FC, MF Police, Bullets FC, which are the defending champions, registered their first win, which is amazing because they're continuing with the form that they left with in the previous season, whereby they finished up very well. As I always say, as we said earlier, that this is a new team to the league, both the men and the female side, because it was formed last season, at the start of last season, and they went on to win the FKF WPL league, whereby they they humbled the Vihiga Bullets, who were the perennial winners before them, which is a good thing. At least it showed that there's competition in that. So I'll be giving you the results as they come through, as I'm finding them out. Rodney, if you get the results, you'll tell me.
Okay.
You'll be telling me about them. Now, today I don't want to waste time because there was no KPL match here back at home. So I want us to go straight into Europe. Today I just want to talk Europe because most of my fans tell me that we give a little less time on the European League because it's the most loved league in the world, especially the EPL. So today I want us to do it for your sake. We're doing it for the fans, because of course there was no KPL this weekend because of the Harambee Stars game against Cameroon, which was coming, and they were in training, and the squad was named also. Do you have even the squad? Let me check on the squad. I want to just rush on the squad of the Harambee Stars provisional squad that was called to camp by our coach Injin Firat. Yes, I'm looking at exactly. Let me get it here right now. A little bit. Harambee Stars. I just want to mention the Harambee Stars provisional squad that was called to camp by the coach. Just a brief of everything. So I have the provisional squad here, and let me go deep. Let me go into it. I have to mention this one. Just forgive me. I have to mention this one because it is very important. Oh, thanks so much. My producer was brought them on our screens. I guess our best is no company, so I'll just have to check here still. Ronnie, please, really do the honors. At least on the screen.
Okay, for the goalkeepers we have Ian Otieno, Patrick Matasi, and Brian Omondi. Defenders we have Alphonse Omija, Daniel Anyembe, and Amos Nodi, Sylvester Oweno, Johnston Omuro, Collins Chenje, Joseph Okumu, Geoffrey Ochieng, and Eric Oma. Midfielders we have David Odoyo, Crispin Erambo, Richard Odada, John Ochieng, Timothy Oma, Anthony Akumu, Duke Abuya, Ronnie Onyango, Boniface Muchiri, Austin Odhiambo, and forwards we have John Avire, Michael Alunga, Jonah Ayunga, and Alfred Scriven, Adam Wilson, and Sydney Locale.
Yes, that was the provisional squad that was called into camp by our coach, the Harambee Stars coach, Injin Firat. And just from the look of everything, this is it's a fairly good squad. And notable misses are people like Muguna. Muguna was missing from the squad, which is understandable because there's a new crop of players that are coming up at the national team, and they have proven themselves in their respective leagues. So I think it's just a matter of rotation. You're bringing in new crop of players, of talents. That is the thing. And that's what we need in our team because we need future players also. So it's a good thing. I think it's a fairly good squad for me if I look at everything here. And I'm happy with the inclusion of Alfred Scriven and Adam Wilson. Because we've not seen so much of them in the national colours. Despite the fact that they are especially Scriven, he has been called up a couple of times, but we've not seen enough of them. I hope this time round we'll see them getting enough playing time to see what they can offer the national team because they play in Europe. And of course, everybody's mind believes that anyone who plays in Europe is a good player because they don't take mediocrity. So I'm not saying in the local leagues you take mediocrity, but also like this, there are levels to the game. And of course, the European game is away. The level is higher than what we have in Africa, so I believe they'll bring in a good contribution to the team. And Michael Olunga is back after missing the last games due to injury, so it's a good thing also for the captain to be back into the team. So that is amazing. I'm looking forward to see John Ayunga play again because he played so well in the last game against which game did he play against? Was it Zambia or what? And he played a very good game. It was a very good game that he played, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play again in this particular match. And Brian Omondi is back to the team. You have Patrick Matasi. I'm looking forward to see who will start as in the goalkeeping department because we are so used. Traditionally, we know Patrick Matasi is the number one, but in the last game we saw Brian Omondi coming in as the first goalkeeper, and he played relatively well. And we saw a good match from him as the goalkeeper. Daniel Lanyembe is back to the team after requesting to be dropped in the last games because maybe personal reasons. The coach said personal reasons. So he's back into the team, and he's one of the players that I love so much in this national team because his contribution is so immense contribution. So looking forward to see how much he will contribute because Cameroon is a very good team. We all know that Cameroon is a very good team. If you look at the squad that they have, this is a game that we are supposed to go in with our best arsenals. I regret using that word, but it is what it is. We need to go to this game with our best arsenal to make sure that we come out with good results from it. So I hope this will bear fruits and will give good results for Engine Firat and Kenya as a whole, because that is what we want to see from our boys. Because we need to see them qualify for this AFCON, for the 2025 AFCON in Morocco. So we believe that this is the squad that is going to give us that victory against Cameroon that will help us or catapult us to a foot in the qualification for this AFCON feat coming next year in Morocco, Pale. So thank you so much, and I hope you are still bringing in your contributions for everyone who is watching us. We've said that we are live on Facebook and YouTube at EBN TV. Just search EBN TV and you'll see me there. If you have my contact there, I've put the link on my WhatsApp group there. You can click the link and come and watch with us. Be part of us, and we'll be really appreciated at the end of this broadcast. Now, let us now go to the English Premier League. And before we go to the English Premier League, I want to start from the German Bundesliga because something happened that was very much, I feel like, okay, before that, can we get the results in the German Bundesliga? If my producer, you have the results, please bring on the screen. In the meantime, anyone with the results? Yes, Rodney, please take over.
So on Saturday, we had Leverkusen playing against Holstein Kiel, who drew 2-2, very unexpected. And we had Bochum against Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg won 3-1. Union Berlin won 2-1 against Dortmund, again, very unexpected. Werder Bremen lost 1-0 to Freiburg. And St. Pauli lost 3-0 to Mainz. Yes, and then yesterday, we had... Let me check. Heidenheim against Leipzig. Leipzig won 1-0. Frankfurt drew with Bayern Munich 3-3. And Stuttgart drew 1-1 to Hoffenheim.
Yes, those were the Bundesliga results. That is the German league results. And this one thing is disturbing me right here. Forget Bayern Munich. Let us go to Leverkusen. They drew again.
Yeah.
What is wrong with Bayer Leverkusen with these draws? Because having a back-to-back draw, it shows that they're underperforming to what we saw them last season. So what can you say about them?
For me, I can say this one. This one, though, you can say it was an underwhelming draw. Okay, the last draw, of course,
was understandable.
It was understandable, yes, because it was against Bayern. But this one, you could now expect them to bounce back into winning position because now you're facing, you are the stronger side against Kiel. So you expect Leverkusen to win in that match. So naweza sema hiyo wameshuka chini. That one wasn't a draw. Unaweza sema to Kiel it was a bigger draw, as in that 1 point is bigger to them than Leverkusen. Leverkusen to them it's like they've dropped points. So it's an underwhelming one, but ukiangalia pia Bayern Munich also drew. So it was okay. It wasn't Nili unaweza sema it was a reasonable one this match day, as in considering Bayern Munich drew, Leverkusen drew. The only shocking one, actually the one that is shocking me is Dortmund. Dortmund actually lost. So,
Actually lost, exactly.
So that's why I'm saying this league, it's this season, this season ya Bundesliga, it will be very interesting to see because si ile league yenye tumezoea Bayern Munich ikidominate the whole season, Bayern and Dortmund back to back every time. This time unapata Leverkusen wako in the mix, Leipzig wako in the mix, Stuttgart pia wakianza kushinda games zao watakuwa hapo in the mix. Unapata sahi Dortmund wana drop, teams like Leipzig and Frankfurt wanapanda juu. So ni ile like ukiangalia hii ligi sahi it's very unpredictable. Okay, maybe sahi unaweza sema at the end of the season Bayern Munich will be the one winning it. But now looking at how these results are turning out to be, Bayern drawing, Leverkusen drawing, it's very unpredictable.
And Frankfurt too, I think it drew.
Frankfurt also drew. So Dortmund losing. So it's a competitive league. That's all I can say. But for Leverkusen, because we're talking about Leverkusen right now, Leverkusen for me, I think they should have gone with the 3 points. Considering how they always play, in the Champions League, they had a positive result against AC Milan. So you considered them in the weekend to win that game. So for me, it's points dropped for Leverkusen.
Exactly, that is points drop, and it's a disappointing result for Bayer Leverkusen, and I have a soft spot for them. As much as I don't support Leverkusen, I'm a Leipzig fan though.
Yeah.
The German Bundesliga, so disappointing for them and for Alonso, and I believe they will do well. They coming after this international break. They will be doing well. At least they'll get the enough needed rest for the players who are not going to the international games. So I hope they'll come up stronger, because I like it when different teams get to win the league, not just traditional teams like especially the Bundesliga, where we have Bayern Munich, if not Bayern, maybe Dortmund at least. Leverkusen came in last season. Schalke went down like to be forgotten.
Schalke went down.
To be forgotten. So
hata ile the derby that inakwanga Schalke and Dortmund.
Exactly.
Ilishuka because now Schalke walienda down and ni Dortmund pekee walibaki juu. So
exactly, yeah. So I think seeing teams like Frankfurt raising up the occasion to catapult or just to take advantage of the failures of Bayern and the other teams is a good thing. Seeing Leipzig now also almost chasing them on their tail, Bayern and Frankfurt on their tail, it's a good thing also for the league. And let us talk about Bayern Munich, Rodney, and they drew again after the Champions League draw. So I think the Champions League, they drew in the Champions League.
Yeah. They lost.
Sorry, they lost. Yeah, they lost to Aston Villa 1-0. I remember that, yeah. And now drawing again. Do you think that honeymoon, the company honeymoon is over? Now he's getting this. Now he just come to reality whereby now things are getting tough for him, because you cannot have a loss in the Champions League, coming out to the league and managing only a draw, and after coming back from a draw in the same league previously, being held by Bayer Leverkusen. Do you think the honeymoon is over for company now?
Could be the honeymoon is over, but it could also be an issue of fatigue in a way, considering that they played in the midweek and then now over the weekend they have to play it was a very competitive game. First of all, both sides they turned up for the match, so it was end to end and a very good game. But if you look at the scoreline, the results, they actually lost at the very last minute of the game. They conceded the equalizer in the 94th minute of the game. So I'm not sure if they kind of dozed off or they relaxed a bit and that's why they lost, or drew, not lost. And I'm not sure, the competition at the very top of the German league is there. If you look at, right now, Bayern Munich are number 1, followed by Leipzig, if I'm not wrong, and then Frankfurt, Freiburg, and Leverkusen, number 5. So it shows there's a bit of competition in the German league, and it's something that we prefer to see as a football fan, because you want that kind of healthy competition, not just a German league, quite literally,
Yeah.
you know, where there's only one consistent winner every year. So we prefer that kind of competition. Yeah.
And if you want to know how tough the German Bundesliga is, the points difference between Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, Leverkusen sits at the 5th spot, it's only 3 points, literally. Because Leverkusen are on 11, Bayern are on 14.
Yeah.
And them dropping points, 2 points both this weekend shows that it's a tough league.
It's very
a tough
tight.
league. When a team like Kiel comes in and manages a draw against Leverkusen, shows how tough the league is.
Especially considering that Kiel are actually number 17.
Exactly.
Just 2 points.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it shows
so
there's a bit of competition over that.
and it's a good thing, and that's what we want to see even in the English Premier League. So that's a good thing. Let us jump straight to the Italian league, whereby AC Milan lost. AC Milan lost. We saw Inter Milan triumph.
Yeah.
So anybody the results for in the Italian league?
Yes.
Yes, as we check them.
We had Napoli. That's on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. Yes,
We
on
had
Friday.
Napoli winning against Como 3-1. Hellas Verona won 2-1 against Venezia. On Saturday, Udinese won 1-0 to Lecce. Atalanta won 5-1 against Genoa. Inter won 3-2 against Torino. Juventus drew to Cagliari on Sunday, that is. Bologna 0-0 against Parma. Lazio won 2-1 against Empoli. Monza drew with Roma. And Fiorentina won 2-1 against AC Milan.
Quite disappointing for AC Milan, especially losing to Fiorentina, whereby David De Gea was the outstanding man, saving 2 penalties in that particular game. Outstanding for him, you know. De Gea is De Gea.
Yeah, class is permanent.
Class is permanent. Remember where I watched the games, people used to call him, when he was still at Manchester United, call him Mikonomia Mia, like literally De Gea can save anyone and anything when he's on form, when he's at a good position. Saving 2 penalties is not a joke. And just overall it was a very good game, whereby Fiorentina winning against AC Milan is something that is unheard of. And it's a good thing, and it's an advantage to Inter Milan. Let us talk about first Fiorentina and AC Milan first. Let us start with Manu. What did you make of the game?
For me, Kenya naweza sema, okay, Fiorentina won that game. That's a big win for Fiorentina against a giant like AC Milan. But now, looking at the form that AC Milan have been recently, they have been down. I've just talked about nimetoka tu kuongelelea Leverkusen versus AC Milan, which happened at the Champions League, and AC Milan were on the losing side. They lost to Leverkusen because Leverkusen was strong in that game. So ukiangalia AC Milan relatively the whole so far tangu season ya Serie A yanze mpaka sahi hawajakuwa strong into their maximum how we know them. AC Milan, they haven't started well, and these 2 previous games ndo unaweza pata imewa expose sana. I watched that Champions League game and Leverkusen were all over them. As in AC Milan, they were trying to possess, and unapata AC Milan, they are possessing the ball, but Leverkusen are that strong, pressing wise. Leverkusen are strong on set pieces, and unapata AC Milan hapo walikuwa exposed, and hivyo tu ukiangalia sasa hii ya Fiorentina, and hapo sasa ndo naweza sema De Gea came in clutch na kasave hizo penalties. And also unapata, but relatively AC Milan, they haven't been at their best so far. So that's, mimi naweza sema hiyo inaweza contribute to Fiorentina taking advantage of that, playing them at that state. Ndio unaweza pata it's a big advantage to Fiorentina, and hence they won against AC Milan.
Exactly, and that basically that is just that, and it shows that things are rising up to the occasion. The teams that were traditionally known as small teams are rising up to the occasion and trying to outdo these big wigs, the traditional big wigs that we know of in this world of football, like literally in all the leagues around Europe. And let's talk about Inter Milan now, taking advantage of the bad form of AC Milan and everyone else in the league, and using their chances to make sure that they come up with the win. Now, Inter Milan won again 3-2 against Torino. Good results. Now continuing with their good form this season. No, from last season literally. So what can you say about Inter Milan, Rodney?
They had a bit of a shaky start to the season, but it's now evident they're kind of catching form as they move on. And Thuram actually scored a hat-trick in the game over the weekend. So it shows they're actually building on where they left off last season. There hasn't been a significant drop-off. So they're being consistent, and if they can keep up with it, then they can actually, retain their championship. Yeah.
And now let's talk about Juventus. Juventus is sitting 30 at second, third
Yeah.
on the table with 13 points. Juventus is a team that a year ago they were looking at relegation because maybe they had been punished because they were found with mistakes, and their points were deducted, and that one brought a lot of problems in that particular team. And now you're seeing them now trying to bring back what they are, trying to play in a way that we're used to them, and trying to come back into the winning form and maybe chasing for the league. What can you talk about Juventus? Like they drew this week, they drew against Nani.
Cagliari.
They drew their game against Cagliari, 1-1.
Yeah.
And of course, it's literally like a loss to them, because if they had won that particular game, they would sit pretty above Inter Milan and a point just below Napoli, which stands at the top of the league. Now, them losing 2 points against Cagliari, same thing with every other big team traditional big team here, losing points to smaller teams. What do you make of Juventus? What can you talk about Juventus in this particular season?
Juventus right now, sai tunaona hii Serie A imerudisha kwa competitive tena. And if you look at right now how the league is shaping up, it's not on their favor right now. It's unapata iko now on the favor of, let's say, a team like Napoli and Inter. So unapata hapo ndo imewafavor. Juventus, you can't say that Juventus will be winning the Serie A right now as we speak because of how inconsistent they have been. They've had a good performance in the Champions League during the week. And then right now, coming to the Italian league, they are drawing against Cagliari. These are games whereby Juventus have to take all the 3 points if they want to win the league. These are the games that they have to win so that they can chase up with the teams like Napoli and Inter Milan, those teams. So that right now, venye tu umeleta ile topic ya venye walikuwa na walipata hizo deductions za points last season, and it somehow affected their on pitch and off the pitch issues. Unapata inakuja ku affect how they play, and ni kama ilikuja ku affect their status at the league. So now they are trying to bounce back to regain that composure, that momentum, mali wanakuanga number 1. So it is tough for them, but now ukiangalia kama washindi games kama Cagliari, now I think they have a job to do. They have a job to do, and beating teams like Inter Milan and Napoli, right now it's very hard. Inter Milan, even Man City couldn't beat Inter Milan in the Champions League. So right now, Juventus have a task ahead of them. Of course, the league they still have time to adjust themselves, and because the league is still long, but time inasonga, and they have to, Juventus as a team, they have to regain their momentum to where wanakuanga. So that's all I can say about Juventus.
Exactly. Let us talk about Napoli, Rodney. A season whereby we are now seeing the best of Napoli. And the coming in of the new signing, especially in the name of your former guy. Right now they're sitting pretty at the top, 16 points in game week 7, that is. And what can you say about Napoli, the rejuvenation of Napoli? Because after the drama with their former striker, who went to is it Fenerbahce or what?
To Galatasaray.
Sorry, Galatasaray. Don't consider this team. Now, right now we are seeing them now coming out. It's like they don't miss Osimhen right now.
Yeah, it's very clear. There's, as you've said, they're being rejuvenated. If you look at their signings, you look at their coach Antonio Conte, who came in during was it the transfer window last season, and clearly you can also see there's a bit of an impact to their signings. McTominay, Lukaku scoring, and they were in a bit of a shaky season at the end of last season. They weren't even able to win the league. They lost it to Inter Milan, but clearly there's been work done that's been put in place, and now they're slowly building on that. I'm not sure if they'll win again this season, but they are in a very good position compared to the other teams to actually win it this time.
And if you look at the new, like you've mentioned, Lukaku now, we are seeing a rejuvenated Lukaku. I'm looking at the stats here, like he has made, in 5 appearances, he has 3 goals and 4 assists. That is 7 goal contributions in 5 matches. This is the Lukaku that used to know back in Everton. I'm at Everton. Do you think, what is Conte doing to this guy that we see now the best out of now Lukaku? Because I think last season he struggled a little bit. He wasn't the Lukaku that we used to know. In some couple of years behind, which led now Chelsea now even not having trust in him and released him to Napoli. What is Conte doing to Lukaku, or what is Napoli doing? What is Napoli doing differently than what than maybe last season?
I think Conte just has his own way of managing. I don't know if I should call them superstars or the big time players, the likes of Lukaku, McTominay now, who came from Manchester United. He has his own way of managing these kind of characters and building them into whatever player he kind of needs or requires. So even though they lost Osimhen, he still came in and filled his position and filled his shoes, and is still delivering.
Let us now jump to the La Liga now, Liga Bova. BBVA. Let us jump to La Liga. When I was young, I used to say, I always call Liga Bova. I didn't see the other. So let's go to La Liga now. Do you have the results for the Liga? My producer, if you have the results, you can put them on the screen. If not, anybody with the results for La Liga before we start?
I think I have them for this match day 9. So on Friday we had Leganes facing Valencia, which ended on a 0-0 draw. Then on Saturday we had Espanyol versus Mallorca, which Espanyol won 2-1 against Mallorca. And then Getafe versus Osasuna, which ended on a 1-1 draw. Then La Palma these teams versus Celta de Vigo, which won. Celta de Vigo won 1-0. Then Real Valladolid versus Rayo Vallecano, which Rayo Vallecano won 2-1. Then Real Madrid versus Villarreal. Real Madrid won 2-0. Then yesterday we had Girona versus Athletic Club. Girona won 2-1. Then Alaves versus Barcelona. Barcelona, of course, won 3-0. Then Sevilla versus Real Betis. Sevilla won 1-0. And then Real Sociedad versus Atletico Madrid, which was the last game of the match day 9. And it ended on a 1-1 draw.
Yes, now, I want to talk about, first, let's talk about Barcelona, the title race there, whereby we have, I'm looking at the table here, Barcelona is leading with 24 points, with a 19 goal difference. We have the Real Madrid comes in second with 21 points, 3 just short of Barcelona. Same games with 13 goal difference. Atletico Madrid, which drew, comes in third, 17 points. Literally, it's marginal, very marginal differences between them from number 1 to number, literally from number 1 to number 12, literally. And I want to talk about first. Let's start with Atletico Madrid. As much as they're sitting pretty on third, I think they're losing points which they're supposed to be winning, maybe to give a competition between Barcelona and Real Madrid. What do you think about Atletico Madrid this season?
Atletico Madrid, actually, specifically this game that they played yesterday, it was an easy game, as in ni game yenye walikuwa waenda na the 3 points against Real Sociedad. Atletico Madrid ndo the stronger side. I think maybe they haven't recovered from the derby win against Real Madrid, which happened the other weekend. Now, you can say Atletico Madrid, they have injuries pia nimeona latest injury ni Llorente of the midfielder for Atletico Madrid, also facing an injury. And then we didn't talk about it last weekend. Huyu defender wa Spain, mwenye alicheza Euros 2024, he was signed for Atletico Madrid. Sijui anaitwaje, but he got a significant injury, a long-term injury, a brain, something to do with brain, which is very critical, and I think ni kitu ime-affect sana. But injuries inakuanga to excuse everything, because also Barcelona have injuries, Real Madrid, nani amepata injury pia Kavala. So injuries unapata ni it's a factor that ina cut across those teams. So you can't say injuries it's a factor. You have to now adapt with that player. So Atletico Madrid, maybe they haven't bounced back after receiving those injuries. Na unapata it's hard for them to capitalize on those results, getting the 3 points. And so even it's very critical for them to get those 3 points. It's very hard for them. But I can see Julian Alvarez ameanza season yake with Atletico Madrid imekuwa poa. Yeye ndo alifunga hiyo bao jana.
At the first minute. Is it the first minute?
Yes, in the first minute. In the first minute. And he was assisted by Griezmann. So a team like Atletico Madrid shouldn't be struggling. Maybe right now they are struggling, but they have now to adapt. Hata kama ni hizo injuries zenye wamepata, they have to adapt to those missing players. They have to get other options to use so that they could get those 3 points. Yeah.
They have to use the available resources they have, the talent they have in the squad to make sure that they come up with a win. So it's an uphill task for Diego Simeone, and because the teams that are above him, that is Real and Barcelona, they didn't come to play like we said, literally like Real won this game for once, at least tried winning convincingly. 2-0 versus against Villarreal, and finally at least you are seeing them at least trying to come to a winning to their winning ways. Same to Barcelona, who won. They won against. Trying to look here. They won against Alaves 3-0 there. So definitely it's not an easy feat for a team like Atletico Madrid to bring a competition to the two teams on top, sitting at the top there. But I believe we're going to see also. I would wish also to have a different La Liga winner this season. Preferably Atletico Madrid, because at the end of the day we're tired with Real and Barcelona. And right now we're speaking of Barcelona being at the top again, which maybe they are a step to winning it, because it's early still in the season, but still early. You know, as msafiri ndio mwenye bandarini pale. Already they are there.
Yeah.
So I hope that I will be having a different story when it comes to May next year. Now, that is all about La Liga, unless somebody wants to touch on Barcelona and Real Madrid. I feel like
maybe as far as Real Madrid, maybe touching on Real Madrid kidogo, tumeona hiyo injury ya Dani Carvajal imekuwa confirmed that is an ACL injury, so that's hiyo ni season yote. But nimeona another news that amekuwa renewed contract. Contract yake imekuwa extended, so you can see the loyalty and the trust they have in Carvajal. Wanajua kirudi bado, he still has the class, he still has the like class is permanent. Hiyo ndio tunasema. So after Carvajal amepata injury, kumekuwa na links za Trent Alexander-Arnold has been linked with the move. Yani Real Madrid are approaching Trent as their next move for a right back. And it has brought a lot of speculations. Of course, said the Liverpool fans, they are not happy with that, and they don't want Trent and your side. As in, of course, Trent alikuwa linked, as in pia in the summer. But sasa unajua Trent na Liverpool, Trent amekuwa Liverpool, like ameanza kiwa Liverpool, but now this Carvajal injury has now brought that spark. Trent kwenda Real, because kuwe kama option, because now they have only one option, and I think is anaitwa Lucas Vazquez is the only option, and akipata injury it's done, because now unapata sometimes wanatumia a center back kama right back, Nimeona wametumia huyu Eda Militao. Yeah. So unapata it's hard. So I think nimeona sasa hii news ya Trent going to Real Madrid, it will be an interesting one going into the January transfer window.
And it will be amazing if Trent goes to a team like Real Madrid because they need somebody who can contribute into goal contributions because Trent is that guy.
Is that
Trent
guy.
is that guy. And the way we have seen in the recent past, especially this season, that Real Madrid has not been so well going forward and scoring goals. They have been just scoring by, can we say miracles, whatever happens. But coincidences. So I think they need a player that can add to their goal contributions, and Trent I think can fit, despite that they need a fullback, but still in that goal contribution, Trent is massive on that particular area. So I think it will be, if they manage to get Trent, which is maybe it can prove very hard, for the fact that Trent is a Liverpool fan first of all, he's a Liverpool boy, and now
he came from the academy.
And he's risen into the ranks and won a lot with Liverpool, not a lot of course, just a single 2 seasons, but at least Liverpool has given him something that he can be proud of. So I think it will be a tough test, but who refuses Real Madrid? Unless you come from Barcelona. So looking forward to having Trent on the white side because I'm a Real Madrid fan anyway. So it will be a good thing. I hate him at Liverpool, but when it comes to Real Madrid, of course. But Lewandowski, let's talk about Lewandowski briefly. The guy is scoring for fun. Came out with a hat-trick this weekend. What do you take in relation to his age right now, and because literally, like with a normal eye or a normal footballing eye, this is a guy that is almost coming towards his end, the end of his career there. That's what I'm trying to say. And seeing him coming up with the kind of numbers he's bringing out, season in, season out, right from Bayern Munich now to Barcelona. What can you say about the consistency of this guy? What is he doing differently that other strikers are not doing?
As we've been mentioning during this show, we've been saying class is permanent. So clearly he's a real life representation of that. And even though, as in despite his age and let's say maybe the league, he's still performing consistently. And you look at Barcelona, they weren't very convincing at the start. Okay, they had a bit of a shaky performance, but now if you look at their performances, they're maintaining that kind of form, and majority of the injured players are now slowly coming back into the team. You had De Jong who came in the match over the weekend in the 80th minute, if I'm not wrong. Gavi is back in training, so as the league goes on, they can eventually pick up and build up on whatever Hansi Flick has started.
That is amazing, and that's what we call aging like fine wine. Like the form continues to be amazing even in the old age. I'm not saying it's old. I'm saying in terms of football, it's old. Anything to add on that, Manu? Or in most cases, any Arsenal fan becomes a Barcelona fan. Like, you support Barcelona, right?
I support Arsenal.
I'm saying Spain.
Oh, in Spain? I was a huge fan of Barcelona because of Messi.
You still are, or you went to a regular?
I still support Barcelona.
I'm right, of course. That's what I said. So do you have anything to say about Barcelona? Or?
It's fine.
Now that is all we had for this. Now I want us to go on a short break, just to take a gap of water. When you come back, we'll be jumping now to the English Premier League because I feel like a lot of action happened during the weekend, and some were disappointed, some are happy, of course. And we see Arsenal continue with their amazing form. I cannot write that off. Man City coming back now to who we know them to be. So let us take a short break. When we come back, we'll be delving or jumping now to the English Premier League.
In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your relationship with God. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we take you on a transformative journey of building your faith, without which it's impossible to please God. A journey of introspection and discovery of who you are in Christ Jesus.
For you to walk with God, you should will not crumble when you come under pressure. Kama umeokoka, sema umeokoka mpaka mbele ya president, mpaka mbele ya chief justice, mpaka mbele ya kila mtu. Hiyo ndio kuokoka ya ukweli. Kuokoka ya ukweli.
Enjoy a faith-filled environment of worship and ministry of the word every Tuesday and Thursdays from 9 a.m. with Reverend Felix Kevoy, exclusively on EBN TV.
The word of the Lord today.
Are you looking to host an unforgettable event that will leave a lasting impression on your guests? Well, look no further than Iconic Events, the premier event planning company in the region. We are an audio-visual equipment hiring company that has handled some of the biggest events in the country. We provide a reliable, comprehensive range of event solutions such as corporate events, crusade, weddings, worship experience, rurashios, etc. Our expertise centers on the provision of high-performance PA systems, quality backlight, stage lighting, high-resolution LEDs and projection screens, DJ equipment, live recording services, and sound installation. We offer a range of options to suit different needs and budgets. Talk to us and let us turn your dream event into a reality. Contact us today at 0711-238-353 or 0706-501-701 or 0731-706-003. You can also visit us at Buruburu Phase 4, Rare Court. Iconic Events, we got you covered.
Hello, praise the Lord. My name is Pastor Joseph Musajawaza of Unfailing Love Ministries. I'm inviting you every Wednesday to join us on our program, Victory Through the Word. In this program, we teach you God's Word. We teach you to find solutions and answers to the struggles of life through the Word of God. Everything you ever go through in life, every pain, every tear, every worry, and every questions that you may ever have in this life. You may not get answers out there, but in God's Word, there are answers and there is a solution. The Bible says that God has exalted His Word above His name. In His Word, there is hope. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but His Word will always remain abide. I encourage you, engage with us as we study together, as you ask your questions, and let your questions be answered as you are built and as you hear God's Word. Our church is located in Umoja, Inako, near Olobon Hotel, just off Sango Stage along Moi Drive, and the court is known as Church Court. Give us a visit and your life will not remain the same. God bless you. Let's meet every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. only on EBN Television.
Welcome back, our dear esteemed viewers. This is the Scoreboard with me, Mike Odipo, and the gang here to give you everything football analysis, the actions, the good things and the bad things that happen throughout the week. And we are happy because we are jumping now to the biggest league in the world, as people say, the English Premier League, whereby we had amazing results during the weekend. Amazing depending on the team that you support, that is. So some of us are not happy and not sad because maybe the things you expected did not come as you expected. Like for my team, I expected them to lose. I would be happy if they lost. Maybe it would have maybe made decisions to be a little bit faster of what I want to happen. But anyway,
I'm happy they drew.
Whatever happened.
I'm happy they drew, actually.
Manu, I've not given you a chance to talk. Now, let us get the results first before we go on. Yeah.
So the Premier League results. So we start with Crystal Palace. This was on Saturday. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, whereby Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Then Brentford versus Wolves. Brentford 5, Wolves 3. Then West Ham versus Ipswich, which ended with West Ham 4, Ipswich 1. Leicester versus Bournemouth, Leicester 1, Bournemouth 0. Then Man City versus Fulham, in which it ended with Man City 3 and Fulham 2. Arsenal versus Southampton, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. And then Everton versus Newcastle, which ended in a 0-0 draw. Then we come to Sunday, in which we had Aston Villa versus Manchester United, which ended in a 0-0 draw. Then Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest, which also ended on a draw, but it was a 1-1 draw. Then the last game of the weekend, which was Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur. Brighton came back from 2-0 down to 3-2. So that one actually was an interesting match of the weekend. Brighton 3, Spurs 2. Yeah.
Yes, that is the English Premier League results in the game week what? Game week 8.
Yeah, that's game week 8.
Game week 8 Premier League results. Sorry, forget everything. Now, thanks so much for everyone who is watching and everyone who is contributing to the show by writing comments on Facebook. And we have our reactions here. Rodney, do you have the comments?
Oh, let me check.
Okay, let me just, because of time, let me just read them because I have them already. We have Teddy Sami saying, good job guys, leo manze kushikana kidogo, but next time pamoja, big team. Thank you so much, Teddy. We have Sami G saying, tuned in from Mbakasi, fan mkubwa wa Arsenal. Hey, they must be here. Nangoja team of the week. Sami G nafai kuwe team of the double E. Ahmed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we, of course, we'll be giving you the team of the week, but we'll be doing in reference to the team of the week in SofaScore. I'll be giving you a hint. We have now Morris Warengai Nyongesa saying tuned in. Thank you so much, Morris, and everyone else who is watching. Please continue bringing in your reactions about the various topics that we have discussed previously and the one we are going to discuss right now, because we are now jumping to the EPL, whereby I believe everybody is conversant with and everybody has a favorite team in the EPL, especially the Arsenal fans who are making a lot of noise here. At least this week, you don't have a lot of noise from the blue side of London. I call them the blue band. They make a lot of noise, and at least today the noise has reduced a little bit, but still the noise is there. And the red side of Manchester. Not much to say about it. Let us delve into it now. Let us start with which I feel like let us talk about.
Maybe we should start with this game. For me, before we go to the big six team, let's talk about Brentford versus Wolves. If you watched that game, it was a high scoring. It was a high scoring game. Brentford scoring 5, and Wolves. Okay, they lost, but they also scored 3, which means this game was a high scoring game. And for me, sai unaona venye tu sai tunasema Premier League sai imekuwa competitive such that the big 6 team, the big 6, the top 6, that is, it is not guaranteed at itakuwa the big 6. Siku hizi unapata it's these mid-table clubs that are going wanakuwa hapo juu. And we have seen it with the previous seasons. Talk about Aston Villa, talk about Newcastle, talk about Brighton and other teams. Sai Brentford sasa ndo wameanza kukam. So for me, Kenya naweza sema sai Premier League, you can't every game right now, it's not an easy game. Sai game, si kila game ni rahisi. Hata sisi venye Arsenal faced Southampton and maybe previously Leicester, they weren't easy games. Because people will say, we are facing Leicester, we are facing Southampton. Maybe the difficult game we are facing is Liverpool, Man City, unaona. Sai si ati ni kuface big 6, it's a difficult fixture. Every game is difficult. depending on the factors that you are facing. So sahi mi venye nimeona the results that sana hii weekend, Brentford 5, Wolves 3, West Ham 4, Ipswich 1, as in they are catching my eye and inanionyesha hii ligi sahi mali imefika. Your team that is playing, you have unafaa to make sure too your team wins or wanna win every game. So that's all I had to say about sana your Brentford versus Wolves.
A very tough game that was. And if you look at the scoreline, shows you that how tough it was. Like it was scoring and scoring. Also, there's another game here that I feel like we should talk about: Brighton versus Spurs. Spurs coming from just winning against Manchester United convincingly, and now being beaten by Brighton. What did you make of that?
Now that's where now my point inaingilia. Naona the big six. Every kila game at you face the big six, and now Spurs are a good example. They won convincingly against Manchester United. And wakajipika kifua, all that. Spurs winning at Old Trafford, blah 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 blah. But now coming into this game against Brighton, I just saw the highlights and I was like, wow. You haungejua ati Spurs wange lose, because if you look at the first half, Spurs were dominant. Of course, that's where the 2 goals came. It looked good for Tottenham, to be real, because hii ilikuwa inakaa tu watashinda 2-0 ama 2-1 and it's game 3 points home. Second half ilianza tu event. This is a different game. Brighton scoring all three goals in the second half, and hiyo ndio inanionyesha sasa venye Spurs hawajafika bado ile point yenye unaweza sema wamejiestablish, because against Manchester United and then that game they had at the Europa League. Actually that game in the Europa League, mi naweza sema it wasn't convincing because it was 1-0 and then kusema ati now we are now Ange still has work to do. Sana transfers, because niliona transfer Sama he brought a lot of young talent. Because because the team is not that experienced. So bringing young talent into it, aina hiyo experience sana, and hiyo ndio inaleta sasa inconsistent results, mara win, mara loss, and hii walikuwa exposed. Daddy Ange ali reveal this is his worst performance, his worst result in his Tottenham coaching. So hiyo ndio naweza sema about that game.
For Spurs, maybe perhaps it's just in the DNA. We know that for that.
You had to mention that, man.
Bado uko na mauchungu ya Manu.
Perhaps.
Hajasema hivyo. Manu hata Manu, what is wrong with you? Manu doesn't my mic.
I'm not even trying to hit. It's factual. It's on paper. But going into the game, I remember I was assessing it with you on Saturday, and I said it was a very open game. It was a 50-50 game. Whoever will come and stand up to that game was going to win it, because they're both very not as good sides. If you come to the stadium or if you go to the game and you turn up to that game, you have a chance to win. It's not they're not very convincing sides if you look at it that way. So Brighton took advantage going into the second half. They made a few changes in their backline and capitalized on it and eventually won the game. So kudos to them. For Spurs, I'm not really sure where they stand. Currently, they're 9th on the table. And it's going to get tougher as they move on, because as Manu has said, the traditional top 6 is kind of fading away as we move forward. So I'm not really sure where they'll finish at the end of the season, but they still have time to kind of turn things around and fix things.
It's exactly, they still have time to turn things around, because at the end of the day, we are still on game week 7. So a lot of games to be played. Literally, how many games? 31 games to go. So that one is a lot of games. So let us see what happens, especially when it comes to January, because that's where things will be. We'll have assessed how they have fared in the first half of the season, and now going to the second half, in the final half of the season, they'll have to do something about their scores, especially the teams that are underperforming. Let's talk about West Ham. I think this is a team maybe people don't talk about it. You know, West Ham started off so badly in the league. They started off so badly in the league, and people are writing it off already, feeling that after them firing their coach Moyes, they felt like now this is maybe some people had said that maybe this is the year of their downfall because of firing such a high profile coach. Now seeing them right now as at par with Manchester United on points, yeah, it's true what I mean. And they beat Ipswich 4-1. We can say this is Ipswich, but whichever way, this is a game, this is a league. Every win matters here. And now they are at par with Manchester United, who are maybe people feel like this is a team that should be beating teams, and now they are at par with West Ham. What can you talk about? What can you say about West Ham now? This rejuvenation.
I think for West Ham, all I can say is now this is the result. Now they can capitalize on going into their next games because they have had a bad start to the season, the Premier League season, and you can also say they have faced tough opponents with Chelsea and other teams taking advantage of their weaknesses. So you can say this game they played against Ipswich, it's one of those now capitalize on that result. Ni ile result yenye sasa ndio itasema how your season will be. Now the next game will matter. Actually, it's not this game that will matter. Hii ni ile sasa ya kuwapea hiyo confidence for the next game. Because if now they lose the next game, it will bring them down to zero, as in back to square one, as in once again afresh. So, and the players that scored in that game, Kina Antonio, Mohamed Kudus, Jared Bowen, and Paqueta, as in those, it's their stars in that team because those are quality players. Sana Antonio, Antonio because he had that long spell, not playing football, and now he's getting back to playing football. Najua saa, of course, unarudi ukiwa rusty, and you have to now adapt again. And him scoring, Kudus, as in these are the names now wenye sasa watabeba hii team. Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta, and your stars. And because we know West Ham si ati ile team yenye kona all it's a mid-table club, but now they have quality players in the individual brilliance yenye inatokea in this team. So kiona players kama wana score, now the confidence inaingia ndani yao, team inaanza kupata hiyo momentum. And now going into the next game, that's why nimesema hii ni ile game ya kuanzisha tena sasa capitalize now on the next games. They should win. So for me naweza sema it's a good win, a massive win for them, for the Indo Itatel sasa their whole season as they go forward.
And let's talk about a particular game here, Newcastle versus Everton, that ended in a 0-0 draw. I want us to talk about Everton and Newcastle, because I feel like Newcastle has not convinced me yet that it's a team that should be fighting for top 4 because of the mixed results it's getting in each game week that we talk about here. One, today they will play so well and shock you. The next day they will play underwhelmingly. And Everton, we are seeing now, Everton managing a result to come out to the point against Newcastle. What does that tell you when it comes to Everton?
For Everton, considering the kind of start they had, they were a bit slow. They started off the season. But going forward, they're slowly finding their form. And Newcastle, even though they haven't been as consistent, they're still a decent team. And I feel like they
just hold on to that thought a little bit. Let us go on a short break, then we'll be coming back in a second.
world.
Are you craving something sweet to brighten up your occasion? Look no further. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited has got you covered. Discover a world of delectable treats that will satisfy all your needs. We take pride in our from-the-scratch recipe and time-honored baking techniques passed down through generation. Indulge in the sweetness of life with our delectable occasion cakes, from elegant multi-tiered wedding cakes adorned with lifelike sugar flowers and delicate piping, to whimsical kids' birthday cakes in the shape of their liking. Our handcrafted creations will make every moment memorable. Birthday cakes, corporate cakes, graduation cakes, wedding cakes, baby shower cakes, holiday cakes, bridal shower cakes. For orders, you can call or WhatsApp us on 0725 038 177. Juliet Occasion Cakes and Bakers Limited, aspiring to make your satisfaction our topmost priority.
We apologize for that hiccup, and please, Ronnie, please carry on.
So as I was saying, Newcastle are a bit of a decent team, but at the moment they have a bit of an injury issue. You look at the team, Target is out with injury, Lascelles is missing, Botman, Miley, the Target man, Isaac, and even Wilson are out with injuries. I saw that even Trippier came off with an injury, so they're kind of struggling at the moment with injury issues. So it could be a significant factor to how the season turns out and even their performances moving on, but hopefully they can kind of find their way through as the season progresses.
Hopefully they can find their way as the season progresses. Those are the sentiments of Rodney, an amazing analyst here. Now let us go now to the game. The game that I felt like was so, they put everyone at the edge of their seats. That was Man City against what?
Against Fulham.
Against Fulham. And Fulham has come out to be one of the teams that are very stubborn when it comes to these big teams, because I remember against Manchester United, despite the fact that they lost, but they gave them a run for the money throughout the game. And now, losing 3-2 to Manchester City. What do you make of this game, first of all?
Kwanza nita-start na Adama Traore. He was wasteful.
Very wasteful. And even before you talk, I got a clip that after the game, Pep went to Adama Traore and he was asked, what did you tell Adama Traore? He said, I told Adama thank you for the wasted chances.
That's brutal.
Continue. Sorry for the
hey, that's brutal. Kwanza, it can affect your confidence as an individual player. But I was watching, this guy had chances. As in, unajua Adama Traore, we know Adama for his Traore for his pace. He even outpaced Kyle Walker. Yeah, you know. So he had 3 good chances, and it's just the finishing. Pace ako sawa, na dribbling with the ball ako sawa. It's just that final product. But anyway, maybe Man City capitalized on that, because kama let's say Traore angepata, let's say kama one of those. No, because he had a chance before even before hata Pereira afunge. Alikuwa na chance your time, and then after Pereira amefunga akakuwa na chance ingine yenye alichapa juu, and then right after that Kovacic scored. No. So ingekuwa different game, but it's one of those zenye Man City had to come back from a winning, like anafaa Man City walifaa rudi back to winning ways, because they drew back-to-back draws, of course, against Newcastle and against Arsenal. So this one was a huge game for them. As far as the title race is concerned, it was a huge result. Kwanza because Liverpool walikuwa wamesha win game yao na walikuwa top. Now sisi tunacheza the same time yenye wanacheza, so kama wangeshindwa and sisi tumeshinda hivyo ingekuwa a different story, but it was a huge result for them, a big win for them as far as the title race is concerned, because ukiangalia they have injuries, and injuries venye tu nilisema earlier, injuries ni factor. It's a factor yenye ina affect the whole team, because Arsenal has injuries, Man City wako na injuries, Manchester United you have some injuries as well, as in we have talked about Newcastle as well. So it's about that other person. Kuna options. How can you cope with the injuries? That's where now unaona Kovacic may step up, scoring a brace, and that's how, like I said some time back, we were talking about Manchester United and Manchester City with injuries, and I said Pep akosangi option. He has a lot of option in his team. So it's about now mwenye ata step up. Will it be Bernardo Silva? Will it be Gundogan, Kovacic? And right now, as we see, tunaona ni Kovacic may step up. So I think it's a big win for them, but it was highly competitive. Fulham they had a lot of chances, but of course at the end, Man City won. Yeah.
Let us now go to another game here that I feel we should talk about here. Let us first go to Arsenal versus Southampton first, and Arsenal, of course, Saka being the light of the game. Let us start with Manu, then we'll go to Rodney. Let's start with Rodney first and go to Manu. Because I believe Manu has a lot to say about Arsenal. So, Rodney, what do you make of that Arsenal game?
It was a good performance from both teams, end to end. They kind of held each other off in the first half, even a bit in the second half, but eventually Southampton found their way first. They scored in the 55th minute, and then Arsenal scored Havertz in the 58th, Martinelli in the 68th, and then Saka eventually in the 88th minute. One thing about Arsenal is they have maintained their consistency, especially Saka, who has been assisting at least in every game, even scored over the weekend, so he's clearly their star boy, as they call him, and he's a very good player and a very influential player in the Arsenal team. Havertz again continuing in his good form and from the beginning of the season. So overall, a very good performance and a good win for Arsenal, considering that they kind of struggle against Southampton. Yeah. Sometimes they lost. I'm not sure if it's in the previous season, the one that cost them the league. So clearly, it's a team that they have a hard time against, but this time they've been able to tame them and get a win. So kudos to them.
And just to mention something, that Saka is sitting pretty at the top of the assists table in the EPL with 7 assists. Literally, like I said, an assist after every game, statistically. So it's an amazing work that Saka is doing, and I'm happy because he is in my FPL team, and he gave me a good number of points, and I'm happy. That's the only thing I can be happy about Arsenal. Manu, say something about your team.
I think it's the same thing with what we saw with Leicester City, because these teams, they just frustrate the opponent, and for me, I just love how Omeko consistent with their composure. First of all, even if they go down, because they went down first, so Southampton scored first, and unajua sasa, sometime back Arsenal, when they go down, it's always pressure, and we were not able to win. As in, when we go down, it's hard to win that game, unless maybe to go home, but Squeezy, it's so consistent. Arsenal have been very consistent. A huge shout out to Martinelli first of all. This guy he has come a lot of criticism, as in amepata criticism mob sana season ikianza, and people criticize Martinelli. He's not passing, he dribbles, but that end product imeshuka chini. But right now, venye amerudi back to his form, it will be now itakuwa difficult for the coach to decide if it will be Trossard. So it's not difficult, but when Martin Odegaard returns, it will be very difficult. But huge shout out to him. He has come under a lot of criticism, but now he's delivering. Of course, coming from the bench and scoring that decisive goal to give you that lead, because it was 1-1 and he scored. Havertz, of course, is on form, scoring that alifungeki ndio ikakuwa 1-1. Then Bukayo Saka, of course, Bukayo Saka is just the star boy, as in unajua wana criticize, siku criticize, kucompare that ati hafungi mabao and hana bao mob, but people waangali assist, like the goal contributions does not matter, and he has come, as in amekuwa class hii season. Najua sahi atakuwa, he is not that kind of person mwenye atakuwa anafunga mabao every time. He's also the assist person, kind of a winger. Martinelli on the other side, he will want to score and all that, but his side, and pia ukiangalia yeye amezoea kucheza na Odegaard, that his side, yani Odegaard and Saka wakiwa na Ben White, that wakiform that triangle, wana making a lot of assists. Saka kino hizo crosses, of course, linapata that end man and at the far corner, and amekuwa poa sana so far. Arsenal wamekuwa fiti, wame withheld hiyo pressure ya kusema kama wataweza kushinda hii ligi. Of course pressure iko on them sasa, because now it's the third time and the league is still young, as in it's game week 8. So sai going into the international break, this is a positive result for them, because now going into the international break kutakuwa na hiyo time sasa ya kuregesha wale wenye wako injured. Of course Merino ameanza kucheza, bado haja adapt to the style, but najua ataweza kuadapt. Thomas Partey as well pia alikuwa exceptional. As far kwanza alikuwa anacheza out of position, he was playing as a right back because Timber is not fit, Ben White is not fit. So as a whole kuna options. That's hapo ndo unasema you work with injuries. Hata kama team iko na injuries, unatafuta option and you work with what you have. So I like how Arteta ana assemble team, ana composite team. Yeah, and wacha tutaona how the season will go for Arsenal. Yeah.
That is Manu analyzing about his team, the Arsenal. And just digging up individual players that he feels that were outstanding in that particular match, and maybe from the beginning of the season, which is a good thing. And let us now go to the... Before that, let us talk about Chelsea. And this are weekend where Chelsea lost some points, 2 points to be precise. And in a game that everybody had predicted a win for Chelsea, because it looked like it wasn't such a tough game for them, I believe, in relation to the form that they have had in recent past. But Nottingham is not as an easy team as per se, because like it's a team that beat Man City some times back, and I watched that game, and Chelsea played so well. You can never write them off about that. And I think what impressed me is the Chelsea keeper Sanchez. Of course, he did an amazing work, amazing saves for that particular game. But also kudos to Nottingham, because they went down one man down in the early stages of the second half, and just to be able to hold on to that draw to the last minute, it is amazing. What can you say about this game in particular, Rodney?
It was a bit funny that some of the advisors of Arsenal, after they played Man City, weren't able to beat a team of 10 men. So I don't know what to say, but anyway, it was a good game overall, and it was a game that I was interested to watch, considering that majority of the teams that Chelsea played were teams that were very open in behind. So this season they have proven that they are very good on the counter, but now facing Nottingham Forest, a team that are very defensive and very good defensively for that matter, they finally met their match. And yes, they did create a few chances here and there, but they were held back quite a bit, and Nottingham very nearly stole a win at the very end of the game, but Sanchez stepped up and rescued a point for them. And Cole Palmer again, very very, very good. A very good player with an assist for Madueke. And Wood scored the goal for Nottingham Forest. So for Chelsea, I feel like they're in a very good position compared to Man United at the moment. But I don't know if they'll carry on with that form. As the season goes on, we're not really sure if teams are going to kind of find out the tactics and kind of learn how to beat these teams. So let's just watch and see how the season goes on.
And for the people who watched that game, they can attest to this, that both keepers from either end were very instrumental to make sure that they came out of the draw, because as much as Chelsea was attacking, and also Nottingham was also doing the same, especially in the last minutes of the game, whereby Sanchez had to make some very decisive saves to make sure that they hold on to that point, which is amazing. And there's a particular chance where one player, I think, lost that chance, and I was already on the edge of my seat, because they played at the same time with Manchester United. So where I watched, there are two screens. I was watching either from either side, which was a very entertaining game. And kudos to Nottingham Forest. A little disappointing for Chelsea, but at the end of the day, you come out to the point. A single point is better than none. So kudos to either of the teams, and especially to the goalkeepers who did an amazing work, both end of the teams. And it was just a very good game, a very quality game and of football that I watched from them. I cannot take that away from them.
Maybe to add something, maybe this result maybe cost them in the next match, because now they are going into the international break. Okay, international break has its factors, but now after the international break, they are facing now a worthy side,
Liverpool?
Liverpool. So now that will be a bigger test for them, because they haven't capitalized on this performance. They have played well, it's fine, but now have they won that game? Not just squeezes. You play well, but you don't win the game. So it's okay. They have won. They're in a good place, Chelsea. But now, unajua result sasa inaweza, kuna venye inaweza play a factor to the next game. And now they are facing Liverpool. Now, we were talking about Chelsea, saying that they haven't faced a challenge. I think now when they go against Liverpool, hapo ndo sasa tutajua where Chelsea wako. Exactly. Because they have wamedraw against Nottingham Forest. Okay, it happens. Na tumesema, these teams, they really frustrate big six side. And Nottingham will frustrate Chelsea. Nottingham, they have quality players on their own side. Their shape is good. But now, they drew against Chelsea. It's a bigger result for Nottingham Forest than for Chelsea. So now, Chelsea going into the international break and now going to face Liverpool, I think that will be a big challenge for them. And Mali wamefika. Now we will know where Chelsea, are they worthy to be in the top 4? Now, hapo ndo sasa, hiyo ndo game itadetermine.
And funny thing, after Liverpool, they'll be facing Manchester United.
Yes.
It's getting tougher and tougher as this goes by. So that is
tough.
Also considering that apparently Colwell got injured in the match. Yeah, he had to come off because of an injury. So we're not really sure how that's going to affect the defense. But Tosin is there, so maybe he could cover for him. But
let's see how it turns out in the after the international. And hopefully they don't lose a player to injury during the international break. Hopefully, for any team anyway, I wish that for them. But of course, it's inevitable. Now, let us now go to the team that everybody will want to laugh at and just meme and banter every time, because especially for the rival fans. And also, this is the first time I saw Manchester United fans were longing for a loss. Wanted a loss from this team. I talked to a number of Manchester United fans, and most of them were saying that they wanted to lose this game. Let us start with Rodney. Rodney, what is wrong with your team? Were you so disappointed that they drew instead of losing?
it was a bit of a bittersweet result. Kind of an anticlimactic end to it. Because going into the game, it was a game of extremes. On one hand, if he lost the game, then obviously he'll be sacked. And on the other, if he won, then he might keep his job. But neither of that happened. So we're in a kind of a conundrum, a bit of a dilemma. So what happens now moving onwards? But they have a meeting tomorrow. So we'll see what's going
What's
to
the
happen.
outcome?
On my end, I don't think he'll keep his job because this is the
No, you wish
second
he doesn't
time.
keep it. I think you wish he doesn't
we
keep
hope
his
so. As in, he's the manager, and thank you for the trophies, but I feel like it's time for us to move on from him. This is the second season in a row that we're having the worst start to the season. This is actually our worst start, literally. Our worst start to a season.
You're breaking your own
8
record.
points. Yeah, he broke his own record from last season.
I was looking at statistics and they were saying that the last time they started like this, I'm not saying you people started like this, was in 1980. 1980. So he's breaking a record of 1980 record. It's quite discouraging.
It's quite discouraging. And you look at the statistics, we have 8 points from 7 games. That is like a point from each game. Which
Exactly.
You have teams that are on 17 points at the moment. We have just 8. That's a 9 points difference. So to recover these points is not easy. As we've been mentioning, that this season is not the season where you're going to a game and you're like, this is an easy win for us. It's not the traditional Premier League we're used to. The season is a bit tougher than that. So going into that game, I feel like the tactic for that game was defend. If you manage to score a goal, fine. If you don't, it prevents the team from being embarrassed. And it worked. I mean, we got a point. It was a good point for Man United. However, I don't think that's the kind of mentality we should be going for at this point in the season if we actually want to put up a fight for maybe top 4 or even maybe winning the Premier League. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen tomorrow, considering they're going for the meeting. The stories of managers who are being lined up, the likes of Tuchel, Nagelsmann, there's Amorim from Sporting. So let's wait and see. Hopefully we can turn around our season and actually put up a fight for top 4.
Before Manu speaks, I'm meant to understand that Manchester is the team with the most clean sheets. Funny enough,
and we also have a negative.
Negative with -3, and also that there's the CEO of Manchester United right now, Omar Berrada. I'm meant to understand that there's a time whereby he proposed that Manchester should be playing a possession-based game.
Yeah.
They played on a single game. It worked. Then after that, they came back to factory settings. The coach brought them back to factory settings. So I think if you look at that and every dynamic about that club right now to this fight, especially for this season, I think if he survives, if he survives, then there's no ambition for that club. If he survives, because I feel like if I was an owner of a particular club or at a position, and they should make a position in a club like Manchester at the moment, I wouldn't even think twice about letting go of the coach. I wouldn't think twice about letting go of that coach because it's been 2 years or 3.5 years.
3 seasons.
And nothing has changed. Like literally, if you follow Manchester, there's no change. There's no change. In fact, there is a downward spiral.
We're going backwards.
We are going backwards to Manchester are going backwards to what we expect them to be. And despite that, the mentality that is in that team, you can be going backwards, but I think the mentality is our winning mentality. But the mentality of the play, if you see, like the players are sulking each of them after every game, and you're not sure that if this is a game, you're not sure that you're going to win or not. Nobody's sure about whatever is coming. Let me stop talking from there. What do you say about what do you have to say about that particular team, this particular game?
This game, actually, okay, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but when I saw the result, I just knew that Mulikaza.
Referring to Rodney.
Like, are you not a Manchester United fan?
Right now, I'm neutral. Right now, I'm neutral.
Okay, it's fine. So, in Akatu, even if you see the results, for me, because I didn't watch the game, but if when you turn Monanil, the picture inachora tu kwa akili ni Manchester United just defended, Aston Villa were attacking. Okay, that's the first thinking.
And that is the truth.
That's before you watch the game.
Sadly.
But now, if you look at the state where Manchester United is, and Rodney has said it very well, Manchester United, it's not Ifeco in that state whereby you are drawing games na mna feel at least we haven't lost. We haven't lost, as in at least we have gained 1 point. Manchester United is not that type of club. Manchester United is a big club, and you guys say it. Manchester United is a big club, but it's not showing elements of a big club. Of course, najua mko na trophies, but as we are speaking right now, it's not haionyeshi on the pitch. Unajua sasa hiyo legacy haijaendelezwa. Legacy ya kina Rooney, legacy ya kina nani, Giggs, Ronaldo, and all those legends, kina Scholes, and said, you guys, like, it's such a downgrade. Naweza sema hivyo tu. From how you guys were playing hizo times za Alex Ferguson mpaka sahi, tangu Alex Ferguson aende mume struggle tangu hiyo time, tangu ajiachilie retire. So amjaipata that right person for nini. Funny enough, you guys have the most clean sheets, but haionyeshi from the results. Maybe hizo clean sheets ni zile za nil. Naona. So, but say Manchester United.
You don't kick a dying lion, bana.
No.
Don't just
hizo clean sheets. That's why Onana amekuwa hapo. He's the one saving you guys during those clutch moments. We talk about Crystal Palace that save he game maybe as in amekuwa in clutch. And if you see a goalkeeper saving a lot of shots, just know you aren't in a good place because the defense is open and all that. So Manchester United FA in that position, and we just have to wait for the results tomorrow. If Ten Hag is staying, okay, it won't affect me. Akienda it's fine. Akiwa sacked is okay because you guys need to move on. As in, it's also embarrassing as a big club and with all that you emulate. So, but hata kibaki, it's still okay. Maybe the board trust him, or something in him. It's still fine. I have no problem with it. But I think the better choice, it's him going. Exactly. Because you guys need to move on. As in, how many times are you going to start slowly? As in, how many seasons? Okay, apart from ile season ya kwanza ya Ten Hag, kuna hii last season, kuna hii season sasa yenye tuko, kuna ile season ya OGS, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, mnaanza tu vibaya and then inafika tu mahali mnaanza kupika. And haifai kuwa hivyo. Because if you find yourself in a title race picture, you look at these first games zenye ziliwa cost. So I think Manchester United right now, we'll just wait for the results, but venye Toro ni amesema Ten Hag right now, and ukisikia venye anaongea, still be patient. I've won 2 trophies. As in each season that I've played, I've won a trophy. So keep the faith. Come on. If a manager is starting to talk like that, like unajua tu hata yeye anaona hivyo. Yes. So I think we'll just have to wait for the meeting yenye na hiyo board ya Manchester United kesho, and we'll just get to know what will happen.
So we are literally waiting for the decision that will come out tomorrow after the meeting that has been very much publicized in regards to the management of Erik Ten Hag in the club Manchester United. Hopefully, it will be something that will make these guys happy. They have been so much depressed lately, and it's not easy.
And actually, it's also affecting the players.
Exactly,
the dressing room. So we'll just have to see.
There's a guy here on the comment section anatusumbua sana. Correction, that is Teddy Samis. On the chart for assists, Cole Palmer has 5 assists and 6 goals this season. We have no disputing. We're just saying Saka is at the top of assists. He has 7. Teddy, Saka has 7. Palmer has 5. So Saka is definitely at the top. You're not talking about goal contributions like the whole plus goals. I'm just saying about assists only. Pumzikunywa maji baridi Teddy Vani. And he also says, comes down here and says, I know Manu will say Traore was wasteful because he wished to be at the top. But oops, kula kwa macho. Hey Teddy Vani.
Teddy anata, yani Teddy kama yuko hapa anaamua kwa attack. Lakini akija hapa.
And listen, this last point, hey Teddy Vani. Hizi keki za delete mna advertise na katamu. Hope mtaninunulia kama shabiki bora siku yangu ya birthday. We will make sure we do that, please. Yes, the advertisement for the Juliet cake, they are good. If you need to order for a cake, please reach on to them. The numbers are on the screen on that particular advertisement, and you will be sorted and you will be satisfied because they produce the best. I've tested them once. My dream. Now, right now, we want us to go quickly because we have only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's do this. There's somebody says he's waiting for the team of the week, but we won't today because of time. We won't be able to do that. But we're going to do this. There's a page known as SofaScore has come up with their team of the week. So this is what we are going to do very, very fast. I'll be mentioning about the team and about the teams of the particular players they have on the team of the week. Then you will quickly replace whoever you think that should be replaced by that person. Okay? So I'm starting off from the goalkeeper. They've put Sanchez, from Chelsea. Sanchez, do you go with that?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody agrees with that. I don't. I go with the Nottingham Forest keeper. I've forgotten the name, but I think he deserves it. They have gone with 3-2-5-1. That's the formation. So you are going with 3-2-5-1. Okay. Now the first defender, Johnny Evans.
Yeah, he was even
Man of the match.
He was man of the match, and I saw a comment that said if Johnny Evans is said to be man of the match, there's a big problem.
36-year-old defender.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the next they have gone with Van Dijk also among the three.
Okay.
They have gone also with Collins from Brentford.
Yeah.
Agreeable with all of us. That is agreeable with all of us.
agree
Okay.
with
On the midfield there, they are just in front of the defender. They've gone with Damsgaard from Brentford and Kovacic from Man City.
I agree with Kovacic. Damsgaard, I'm not sure, but Kovacic, I concur with that.
Do you have anybody to replace Damsgaard?
Okay, it's that I didn't see what he did, but now, if it's the only option, then it's okay.
Okay, now on the four, just above the defensive line of the midfield, we have Gakpo on the left. Gakpo, agreeable to that?
Yeah.
You're not saying Martinelli?
Okay, because of time, because tukianza kwenda hapo najua.
So then they have gone with Palmer, central midfield.
Palmer, that's true.
Okay, they've gone with Bowen from West Ham, of course.
Yeah.
And Saka on the right.
Yeah, so
That one,
of course.
undisputed. And they're going the front line of a single striker who is Havertz.
Yes.
I prefer Delap, but okay.
No, okay.
Delap lost,
But he scored.
but he lost.
Scored
Havertz won.
3 goals in 2 games.
No, he has scored 1 goal as a new game.
In this particular game.
Delap scored twice last week and then once this week, so he's maintained that form.
Havertz even Havertz ni venye he's on the winning side.
Okay.
Delap is on the drawing and losing side. So you go for the winning.
Okay, well back then.
Yeah, of course. I would go with Welbeck too. I would say Welbeck.
It's okay. Me, I'll go with Havertz.
Okay, that's it. And the highest ranking player in their team is Saka with 9.9 out of 10. This is amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, 2 assists and 1 goal. Deserved.
Kudos for Saka, and that is the team of the week for you. From us and SofaScore, we have removed at least kuna player tu tumechange peke yake. The keeper one says dispute Sanchez and Saka.
Striker
and the striking
na
place.
dispute na Welbeck.
So what do you think? Where do you think? Which do you think we should put inside the team of the week to our viewers? Who have we not put there? If you feel like we should put there, put it down on the comment section. We will read that next week. So thank you so much for everyone who has been watching. But still, first, let us go to their last words for the show. Start with Rodney.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. I know my family is watching at home, so thank you for tuning in today. Have a blessed week ahead. Have an amazing weekend. We don't have the Premier League over this weekend. It's since we've gone for the international break, so we'll be back to analyze the Premier League in 2 weeks' time. But enjoy your week and your weekend as well. And thank you.
Yeah.
Manu?
I'll also thank all the fans that have viewed, the viewers and the fans when you may watch, now when you may comment. Just to emphasize that this show has a repeat on today, on Monday, which is at 9:30 p.m. after the news. This show will be repeating. So if you didn't catch this show, or maybe you've catched it late, unaweza ipata 9:30 masaa za usiku. So Guys, have a blessed week ahead of you and be blessed. Be blessed. Yeah.
Yes, be blessed to you, our dear esteemed viewers. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for everyone who has reacted to the show and their comments. Thank you so much, because we are here because of you. See you next week on Monday from the same time from 2 to 4 p.m. Have a blessed week. Have an amazing weekend, an upcoming weekend. And now that we are going to the international break, have an amazing time watching countries do their thing, especially for Kenyans who will be playing against Cameroon in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. I hope and we pray for the best to our boys, because they are ours first. You know, charity begins at home, so we hope for the best coming this week, because as we said earlier, Cameroon is not an easy team, but we hope that we will triumph against them. So have a nice day, have a nice week, be blessed to you and to your house and all your endeavors. God bless you so much. Bye.